working in the spirit of the Golden Empire. This is 17 News at noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. The search for two teenagers in the Kern River continues. The 15 and 19-year-old boys were last seen going into the river yesterday morning near the Keysville South campgrounds. 17th Vanessa Dillon was up in the Kern River Valley all morning and spoke to the teens' family. She joins us in the newsroom now with more. Vanessa?
That's right, Maddie. I spoke with a 19-year-old sister early this morning who tells me her family is a complete loss as a Father's Day weekend getaway turned into a tragic waiting game. Now, as we reported last night, the two teens were last seen yesterday morning after jumping into the water, never making it back to their campsite. The sister didn't want to go on camera, but says this isn't the first time they've visited Keysville. In fact, she says the family visits every year and the teens always swim in the river. She tells us the family is devastated and her father even fainted this morning. As crews continue searching, the Kern County Sheriff's Office continues to stress safety, highly discouraging people from jumping into the water altogether.
Today we're going to concentrate on walking the banks, looking for our two victims, and in just about another hour, maybe a little bit less, the air unit will come over and do a flyover for us, make a pass, and see if we can't see them from the air.
Today's search efforts will continue until nightfall. If the teens aren't found by today, search crews will resume tomorrow morning. In the newsroom, I'm Vanessa Dillon, 17 News.
Thanks, Vanessa. Meantime, search and rescue found a man's body in the water at the French Gulch boat ramps at Lake Isabella Saturday morning. You may remember last week we brought you the story of a boater who went missing near the French Gulch Marina. That man had reportedly jumped from his boat to swim back to shore but didn't surface. It's not been confirmed whether or not the missing boater is the person who was found in the water this weekend. That man's identity has not been released. All right, let's check out that forecast now. It's going to be another hot one. And, of course, that means people are tempted by the water of the Kern River, but we can't stress how dangerous it can be.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the safety of that in just a sec. Want to take you outside first. Rosedale at Mohawk, showing you the clear skies. No changes on that front. It's still going to be quite warm. Want to show you Lake Isabella right now, and the lake at 326,000 acre feet of water. And when you look at June of last year, we have about 115,000 acre feet more of water in the lake right now. The inflow, that means water going into the lake, is right now at 6,972 cubic feet per second. The outflow, that means water going out of the dam into the Kern River, is just under 5,000 cubic feet per second. There's a lot of water right now going into the Kern River, and that's why it's so important to stay out. Stay away from the river's edge. The water is very cold. It is swift at this time, and we expect faster currents. Snowpack is still over 100% of normal for this time of year, and as it melts off, we will see those rivers rise even more so. So if you want to enjoy the Kern River, go with an experienced guide. I can't say it enough. 89 degrees in Bakersfield right now with a west-northwest wind at 6. As we take a look at the graph for the temperatures today, we are expected to be in the mid to upper 90s, and then by midnight we'll be right near 80. We're at 81 right now in Tehachapi. We have a breeze out of the northwest at 13, and as we take a look at the day and the temperatures, we're expecting to rise into the 80s and then slipping back into the upper 60s by 10. We'll see a warm-up tomorrow, but how warm will it get? Details on that in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Kevin. We're learning more about the death of a woman who was attacked by dogs near Costco. Bakersfield police were called to the Rosedale Highway Costco location just after 6 yesterday morning. Officers found the woman and say they think she was bitten by several dogs about half a block away on Standard Street and Bryan Way. When medical personnel arrived, they pronounced the woman dead. Police say animal control officers found and caught the 3 dogs involved. 2 dogs, a pit bull and a mixed large breed dog, were owned by a nearby business owner. Another pit bull that they believe was stray and they also believe was involved in the attack was also caught. The woman's cause of death is not yet known. Her identity has not been released. World news now. Iran announced today it would breach internationally agreed curbs on its stock of low-enriched uranium in 10 days, a move likely to strain already high tensions with Washington. But Iran added that European nations still had time to save a landmark nuclear deal. The announcement comes in the wake of suspected attacks on oil tankers last week in the region, attacks that Washington has blamed on Iran. NBC's Bill Neely reports from Doha.
After the crimes at sea, the detective work on land. The 2 ships damaged by explosives, now forensically examined for clues. The US accusing Iranian forces of tampering with evidence, boarding one tanker before international investigators. The ship's crews are safe. Shipping in the Gulf is not. 6 tankers targeted now in 5 weeks. The US says this video is proof, apparently showing Iranian Revolutionary Guards at the scene of the crime, removing a mine that didn't explode. The US military now says Iran's army tried to shoot down a US drone to try to stop it filming the tanker. It is a dangerous moment, with some ship owners now suggesting military escorts for tankers. Russia's President Putin is suggesting America is making baseless allegations. And he met a defiant president of Iran. He's now threatening to ramp up Iran's nuclear fuel production. The Speaker of Iran's parliament even suggesting the US was behind the attacks to provoke conflict. For President Trump, big decisions loom. Troops or talks. He said the Iranians aren't ready to make a deal, and neither are we. So the US campaign of maximum pressure will intensify. But so too will Iran's maximum resistance.
Now, Iran is obviously trying to pressure Europe. Most of the countries in Europe are still adhering to the deal. But it's also putting pressure on the US, flexing its muscles, saying to the US, you can pressure us economically, you can impose sanctions on us, you can strangle us economically, but we too have levers to pull. And one of them is a nuclear lever. Bill Neely, NBC News, Doha, Qatar.
Back here at home, today Nexstar stations across the country are celebrating Founders Day of Caring. Today you might have noticed some familiar faces scouring downtown Bakersfield. The 17 Clean team has been out all morning picking up trash to help beautify your neighborhood and having a little fun while they're at it.
It's going to be 100 degrees out there, and the work schedules of television employees, as you can imagine, vary. And so we've got people out there on different shifts throughout the day, and we have nearly 100% participation out there cleaning up our downtown area for our community. And again, it's over 100 degrees. So for me, it shows that all of our employees here have a personal investment in what we do.
And we hope to inspire you to partner with a local organization to help the community, or just grab a bag and pick up some trash in your neighborhood. We're back now on your 17 Health Watch. A new study suggests sexting can have detrimental effects on adolescents. Researchers in Canada found teens who engaged in sexting were more likely to be sexually active and less likely to use contraception. They also had higher rates of anxiety and depression, delinquent behavior, and substance abuse. Some of these behaviors were more common among younger teens. Experts say sexting can have harmless intentions and may not always indicate risky behaviors. New research suggests that obesity can worsen the symptoms of multiple sclerosis. The Italian study included 140 patients with the relapse-remitting form of MS. It showed those who were obese had more pain, stiffness, and balance problems. Scientists say excess weight increases inflammation, which causes symptoms to worsen. A warning for Americans traveling to Europe this summer. There has been a record number of measles cases in the region, including the Ukraine, France, Greece, and Italy. The CDC says U.S. travelers should receive all of the recommended vaccines before leaving and pay attention to any symptoms when they come back. Anyone who develops a fever and rash should see a doctor immediately. There were over 41,000 measles cases reported in Europe from January to June of last year. That's the most since the 1990s. You've heard people talk about gut health as more research identifies diseases linked to your gut. If you're staying hydrated and eating enough fiber, your digestive tract is functioning properly. However, one dietitian says people aren't getting enough fiber. Haley Hernandez reports.
It helps keep you full and can prevent illnesses like heart disease, diabetes, and cancer.
And then it's also good for your gut health, which is something that we want. We want to minimize any kind of chronic disease associated with a low fiber diet, things like colon cancer.
Here are some surprisingly tasty ways you can add fiber to any meal. Add berries. 1 cup of raspberries has 8 grams of fiber, almost twice what's in an apple. Add them to oatmeal, salads, or snack on them with popcorn or whole grain toast for an extra 5 grams of fiber. Chia seeds are so small you can throw them in just about anything for a big punch of fiber to any meal. 1 cup equals 10 grams. And 1 cup of black beans carries 15 grams of fiber. Eat them with brown rice and get nearly 19 grams total. And while leafy greens get all the credit for having a lot of fiber, 1 cup of boiled peas has 9 grams. That's more than broccoli or Brussels sprouts.
A lot of the time clients will say, well, I don't like this, or I don't like, broccoli, or I don't like, whatever the veggie. Any veggie is going to be good. And they're all going to give you at least some fiber, some a little bit more than others, but add in what you like. I think that's the trick.
Experts say women should try to eat at least 21 to 25 grams of fiber a day, while men should aim for 30 to 38. It's also National Veggie Day, so hey, there you go. Great way to get your fiber in. Welcome back. Today, an 8-year-old boy in North Carolina is recovering from a shark bite. He's the 3rd victim of a shark attack in the waters of that state this month. NBC's Carrie Sanders has details.
Vacationers flock to Bald Head Island in North Carolina for summer fun and sun. But for an 8-year-old boy, the pristine waters near the Cape Islands turned terrifying Sunday afternoon when a shark attacked him near the shore.
I respond in reference to a shark bite.
The shark grabbed him by the leg, but left him with only puncture wounds. It's the 3rd reported shark attack along the North Carolina coast this month alone. 19-year-old surfer Austin Reed suffered a bite to his foot last week, leaving him with a 10-inch wound. And 2 weeks ago, 17-year-old Paige Winter lost her left leg and 2 fingers fighting off a shark.
And when I pulled her up, a shark came up with her, and it was a big shark.
A one-time Marine, her father, now an EMT, repeatedly punching the predator, likely saving her life.
And I hit it with everything I could, and it let go.
Surprisingly, Paige defending sharks even after her attack.
I think I could transform this into something good for me and good for sharks and good for the environment too.
Her father just grateful she survived.
A shark took her leg, but it did not take her spirit.
The experts say that typically there are only 2 to 3 shark attacks along the North Carolina coast in a given year. So the fact that there have been 3 so far this year is certainly getting attention. This as the beach season is just beginning. Kerry Sanders, NBC News.
Fashion designer and socialite Gloria Vanderbilt died today at the age of 95. Vanderbilt was also an author and appeared on Today several times over the years. Vanderbilt's son, CNN anchor Anderson Cooper, confirmed the news this morning. In a statement, Cooper said in part, Gloria Vanderbilt was an extraordinary woman who loved life and lived it on her own terms. Cooper said his mother died at home surrounded by family and friends. As new drivers get ready to hit the road, the California Highway Patrol is offering another Start Smart program. It's happening tomorrow at 6 o'clock in the evening at the CHP office on Campagnoni Street. The free 2-hour class is targeted toward teens. Parents are also invited to attend. The class covers important issues like safe driving habits, consequences of a poor choice behind the wheel, and tips on how to avoid a crash. The Books in Motion program will bring the children's classic Stone Soup to life today. The Kern Dance Alliance, Kern County Library, and Kern Literacy Council are teaming up for the program this summer to help enrich children's literacy. It's geared toward kids in K through 3rd grades. Families can come out for free to watch a performance of the book, learn some choreography, create a craft, and take home a free book. Today's performance is in just about 34 minutes at the Mojave Library branch. There are more than 20 performances happening this summer. For a list, go to kerndance.org/BIM.